Hi guys, what's up? It's HOBITUERRA, but you guys can call me T. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about movies, TV, and true crime. Today I don't have any makeup on. Let's not talk about it. I'm gonna be putting it on, okay? We're gonna be talking about Jimmy Allan today. Alright? This man is crazy. Okay? Let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, it's Friday night in Tecumseh, Michigan, right? It smells like nachos. Stadium lights are buzzing, and in a town like this, nothing really happens, okay? Drama usually just stays on the football field. But on September 14th, 2018, the real story was not on the scoreboard, y'all. By the end of the night, Amy would be in a hospital bed on life support, and her husband Jimmy would be dialing 911 with a story so thin that it could hold a paper towel. This is a story of a man who thought he could murder his wife and stage a self-ending and get away with it, only for the truth and the basement ceiling to bring him down. Let's start with the 911 call, okay? Because this is where red flags start like waving like a parade, okay? At 8:49 p.m., Jimmy calls 911, and instead of shock or panic, he sounds inconvenienced. His exact words are, "My wife tried to kill herself. She's in the fucking basement." And okay, I'm sorry. No crying, no begging for help, just pure irritation. When first responders arrive, they find Jimmy doing CPR, and that's necessary because he looked like he was pretending more for an audience than actually being concerned about his wife's potential death. There were no tears, there were no sense of urgency, and when paramedics told him that Amy was still fighting, instead of relief, he looked like he was caught off guard. Like, this was not how his little script was supposed to go. Earlier that evening, the Allans drop off their daughter at a football game and one of her friends. After that, they swing by a local bar for a drink. Now this is where it gets interesting because security cameras catch Amy leaving the bar around 7:51 p.m. walking home alone, mind you. And Jimmy shows up home later, but I believe he drove. According to Jimmy, when he walked in, they had gotten into an argument. He says Amy went downstairs to the basement, alright? He checked on her once, she cursed him out. Then almost an hour later, he finds her hanging from an orange extension cord. Why are my eyebrows not doing what they're supposed to be doing? I don't understand. And I know it's not funny, alright? But this man essentially just said, yeah, I know my wife was upset. And instead of talking to her about it, I just left her in the basement. Now this is where Jimmy's story takes its first nosedive into Noteville. I just don't think I can do two things at once. Investigators examine the basement, and right away they see that the basement ceiling is like pretty fucking low. Even if Amy had to take her life in that way, her feet would still be on the ground, and not barely. Her feet would be flat on the ground. Okay, what's going on here?
So are you good?
Yeah, I'm doing my makeup while filming the video, and my eyebrows are not looking like they're supposed to look like that. Police physically tested the scene, and the cord was tied from height to floor, so it didn't create enough drop to cause death by hanging, if that makes any sense. It's the kind of thing that you would only know to think of if you thought about mechanics, and obviously Jimmy didn't think of that. So, and then autopsy reports come back, and Amy's neck injuries didn't match up.
No, she had no neck injuries, right?
Yeah, no, she did have neck injuries, but they didn't match up with neck injuries that would be caused by hanging. If that was, that's what I'm trying to say. I just don't know how to like make full sentences in my mind right now. Instead, they were consistent with a chokehold.
I thought they said that she had no injuries to the neck.
No, she had injuries to her neck.
Really?
Yes. Bruising patterns and internal tissue damage, the kind that comes from sustained manual force and not gravity. And if that's not enough, the rest of the scene stage, it screamed stage, it screamed fake, it screamed that he obviously set this up. The cord was too neatly placed, there was no overturned items, no signs of desperation. It was honestly walking into a bad set design for a crime TV show. To understand why Jimmy might have done this, you have to understand their relationship. Friends and family described Amy as soft and reserved, shy, and isolated. And when it came to their marriage, Jimmy made the rules in the house. Are my eyebrows looking like my eyebrows? I don't know. This is not giving what it's supposed to give.
Or is it supposed to give?
Nice, cute, girly pop eyebrow. It's giving, you have a caterpillar on your eyebrow. Everything from finances to social contact went through him. And when they moved, because he took that dream job in Michigan, it conveniently put hundreds of miles in distance between Amy and the people who loved her the most. Unfortunately, this didn't seem like a marriage of equals. It kind of seemed like a cage with a wedding ring. I don't know. He seemed very controlling. Well, hello? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? And then here comes the motive. Investigators find out that Amy has been talking to somebody on the side, another man online, all right? His name was George. It started off as messages, and then they met each other once in person. Now, if it's emotionally cheating, physical cheating, or somewhere in between, Jimmy saw that as a betrayal, and he saw that as a threat. And honestly, at this point, if you caught your wife cheating, you have the option just to, I don't know, walk away. But to Jimmy, divorce means losing control. So instead, he went with option B. Make it look like she ended her own life and paint himself as the grieving widower. This video is gonna be me trying to do my makeup and tell a story at the same time. Basically multitask, and I honestly can't do that. So it's just gonna be me not being able to finish my eyebrows. Unfortunately, Amy never woke up. She ended up spending about 3 days in the hospital. So she ended up spending about 3 days on life support before her family ended up making the gut-wrenching decision that, hey, we're gonna have to let her go. What the fuck is on my... What the fuck? No, it should be fine. I don't know what this is. It better not be black. But that sounded really suspicious. That's not what I meant. Meanwhile, Jimmy clung to his self-exiting story like he was holding on to a security blanket. The police didn't buy it, to be honest with you. The medical examiner didn't buy it. And Jimmy just kept repeating the same old story, like if he said it enough times, maybe it would actually be true. And while he was walking around free at this point, investigators were quietly building a case against him, brick by brick, detail by detail. And spoiler alert, they built it strong enough so that it could hold. 2 years later in 2020, oh, I didn't even finish. What the hell is this? So 2 years later in 2020, Jimmy was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The trial lasted about 9 days, I believe, but the jury only needed about 4 hours to reach their verdict, which was guilty. In 2021, Jimmy was sentenced to about 20 to 45 years. This video's gone a little faster than I thought. I spent the whole time doing my eyebrows. I don't know what happened. In 2023, Jimmy tried to go for an appeal. He basically says, I'm being wrongfully charged for this crime and I want to submit an appeal. The courts basically look at this and they're like, yeah, we gonna keep him here. We gonna keep him here. What the fuck? They piss me off so much. How do girls be telling crime and putting on their makeup at the same time? Because I feel like I don't remember how to use my hands. I don't understand this. This case is a masterclass on why you can't outsmart forensics. You can stage a scene, you can fake CPR, but you can't fake injury patterns, you can't fake ceiling height, and you can't fake the kind of emotion that comes from actually wanting somebody to live. Jimmy Allan thought he could write the ending to Amy's story, but in the end, science and timelines and plain and old common sense wrote it for him. And it ended with a prison jumpsuit and a number instead of a name. And that's ultimately what he gets. He had the chance to walk away. I'm pretty sure, I feel like he knew that Amy was cheating on him. He tried to paint the picture that he didn't know and that this is something Amy wouldn't do, and that she was so isolated that she wouldn't have did that, and that the police were lying. He knew, and she wasn't very much isolated. He created that isolation for her. All in all, I want to say rest in peace, Amy, and you deserved so much more than a man who decided to take your life. Honestly, I don't know what happened in this video. I was trying to do my makeup and it just didn't turn out how it was supposed to turn out. Actually, I was supposed to do a full face and I only ended up doing concealer, eyebrows, and shitty ass eyeliner. No highlighter, no lipstick, no nothing. I don't even know where my lip gloss is, so my lips are just about to be ashy right now.
I don't know what any of those words mean. I just know what eyebrows are. I know mascara. I know that one.
I didn't even put on mascara. So irritated. It's so hot and I get irritated so fast. Overall, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment. Usually I do longer videos than this, but this is shorter. Just doing a little speed run. I had another video planned, but it's taking a lot longer than I wanted to, but I've also been procrastinating. So, yeah. If I say I'm gonna have a video by Sunday, come back around Tuesday, Thursday, okay? I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.